boy was that an entertaining game. Arsenal somehow, somewhere we find ourselves a win. 2-1 victory over Brentford. I said in the preview it'll be quite a tough game, and it turned up being quite a tough game. Outside of the Ramsdale mistake, we actually were much the better team. We deserved all 3 points, and now with City playing Liverpool, hoping for a draw there. With City playing Liverpool tomorrow or today, depends when you're watching this, it is such a huge victory for us. It was a nail-biting game, and that is a change from the most recent games we've been watching. It was quite an entertaining game, to be fair, even when it was 1-1 and we weren't necessarily getting the better of it. Boy, did we need this win. Boy, did we need these 3 points. What a huge win. Kai Havertz, 60 million down the drain, but he scores again. That's his 4th consecutive goal in English football. That's the first time he's ever done that in his whole career. Absolutely outstanding from Kai Havertz. He had a really good game, and he was probably one of the players I was hoping would score or deserved a goal. Kai Havertz was for sure one of them. It was such a good win. Not the greatest of performances, not the greatest of results on paper, but it doesn't matter. You can't win 6-0 every weekend. But what you can do is fight against the momentum at times, fight against what people think is going to happen, and get all 3 points. What a huge victory. To start off, the starting 11, I got the starting 11 spot on, and it was pretty simple with what was going to happen. I thought Saka would be fit for the game, he was, and I didn't think Martinelli would be fit for the game, he wasn't. But yeah, I was quite worried now going into the game about Ramsdale. He hadn't played for Lord knows how long. He only had 11 appearances all season long, so I was quite worried, and I'd be lying to you if I said I was confident in Ramsdale. Now listen, I believe in Ramsdale. I still think Ramsdale is a really good keeper. Yes, even after this game, I still have my faith in Ramsdale. But watching this game and watching Ramsdale's performance makes you think, I see why Arteta went for Raya now. Again, Ramsdale is probably a starting level keeper at a team like West Ham or what have you, but not at Arsenal. I think Raya is a better keeper after this performance. I'm sold. But again, a lot of this performance, a lot of those jitters you saw from Ramsdale today was simply because he had only played 11 games for us this whole season in all competitions. But yeah, it was quite a fast start to the game from Arsenal. Listen, Brentford did quite well. They sat well in their little block, but we did really well. I thought, especially in the beginning of the game, first off, yes, we had some nervy moments. Yes, we had some moments where Ivan Toney and Wissa looked pretty decent. Brentford were testing us, but we handled those moments really well. Ramsdale looked good, surprisingly, for most of the first half. Saliba, Gabriel looked really good in handling Wissa and Toney, but that mistake from Ramsdale, boy oh boy was that costly. It could have been so much more costly than it was. That mistake, really unhappy about it. Listen, again, I think it's jitters. I don't think Ramsdale makes that same mistake if he had played 11 games in a row, but it was unacceptable. Especially when you had more than enough time to clear the ball. You had more than enough time to pass it off to Saliba. Making that mistake, whether you are rusty or not, is unacceptable in such a huge game. Just clear it. It's the end of the half. We're 1-0 up. Just clear the ball. The one thing you don't want to do is ponder on the ball. Pass it to Saliba. Clear it out of touch. I don't care. But don't dwindle on the ball. Don't allow Worcester to close the gap and smack the ball in the back of the net. Absolutely horrible. And I thought to myself, this was exactly like the Liverpool game. When we made that error, we were 1-0 up against Liverpool, a really good first half performance. We make a mistake and Diaz scores. I thought to myself, this is the exact same situation. Now, are we going to bounce back in the second half? I was hoping we would. And it was so frustrating because that first half performance, like I've been saying, was so good. We were so clean. We played so well. Some of our one-touch play was outstanding. Odegaard, Ben White, Bukayo Saka on their right-hand side for a lot of the first half looked really good. And again, that's where we got our goal from. Ben White whips it in from the right after some good one-touch play between Saka and Ben White, whips it in, and an amazing movement from Declan Rice, gets a good header on, sends us 1-0 up, and then we make that error from Ramsdale at the end of the half to just kind of kill all our progression at halftime. 1-1, I'm thinking to myself, we need to make sure that we don't mess up, we capitalize, because Brentford are here for the taking. Brentford are a good team, yes, they're sitting well in their block, but we are playing so well, we need to go in there and put in a good second half performance. And to be honest, the first 5 minutes of that second half, we weren't great. We were okay. We were a little bit slow at the blocks, which I wasn't greatly happy about, as I'm sure everyone can agree with, but we started to pick it up. The crowd started to get louder. We started to look better on the ball, and eventually we started to pound on the momentum. We played some really good football in the second half. It wasn't quite as good as our first half performance, I would say. Again, that first half performance for me wasn't outstanding, wasn't jaw-dropping football like we've seen recently against Sheffield United, but that first half performance was more than good enough to at least have a lead going into the break. So the second half, I was quite worried. I mean, the first 5 minutes we were a little bit slow out of the blocks, but we picked up momentum and then we started to look decent. Not great, but decent. Kai Havertz, the whole game, he was outstanding. Hard working as ever. He did miss some chances that you would have hoped Kai would have at least put on target, but it is what it is. I'm not going to complain all that much about it because obviously he did score the winner at the end. But in the second half, I thought Trossard looked really good at times. I thought Kivior, even offensively, which I don't say a lot about him, he looked decent coming up top, hitting in some good crosses, getting some good passes with Trossard. I thought Kivior was pretty decent. I thought Trossard looked good. I thought Odegaard looked good. Declan Rice was amazing throughout the game. Here, I left my seat. I jumped on my seat. The moment I saw it left Declan Rice's boot, I thought, yeah, that's a goal. No, hit the crossbar. I thought, is this one of those nights? Is this one of those nights that everyone's going to be blaming Ramsdale? We made an error and we're now going to pay the price. But luckily it wasn't. Luckily, give him credit. There was a time where Tony hit a beautiful left-footed volley. I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about. And Ramsdale, I don't know what he's doing so far off his line, but it is what it is. Off his line. He did so well to make that save. First of all, an amazing shot by Tony. Fair play to Tony. But Ramsdale, to his credit, did really, really well to make that save. Yes, he shouldn't have been far off his line, but I got to give him some sort of credit because he hadn't been all that bad. Outside of Ramsdale's mistake, I thought he was pretty okay. Looked dodgy during set pieces, but he was pretty okay for the most part, so there's that. But no, going on to the winner. I was sitting there thinking when it was 1-1. We brought on Jesus. We brought on Reece Nelson. I can't remember who else we brought on, but I was sitting there thinking, we better find something. It's going to be something like that Bournemouth goal from Reece Nelson where we have to find some special quality in the last 9 minutes and the place is going to erupt if we can get that. And as time went on, I started to think it's probably not going to happen. But in the 85th minute, we actually had some really good patient build-up play. Ben White whips in a beautiful, beautiful cross into Kai Havertz, whose front stick. Kai Havertz gets a really good header on it. And for the first time the whole night, Kai Havertz made the most of his opportunity and he gets a beautiful header into the top corner. Yes, it came off the keeper, but it was a really good, powerful header. Made it very hard for the keeper to save it. And that sent me crazy. I lost my marbles. I'm sure you guys did as well. Absolutely insane. It is such an important goal. Again, I said this in the preview. This was a must-win game. And I was telling myself during 1-1, I was like, maybe a draw isn't that bad, but I couldn't lie to myself. We needed to win this game. And we did it. We won this game. Such a dramatic way to win it. I would have preferred another 6-0. But it is what it is. A 2-1 victory. Such an important victory. I'm so happy. I thought Kai Havertz was amazing. Probably my man of the match. If not Declan Rice, probably one of those two. Saliba as well did really well on Tony. Gabriel looked good on Wissa. Vice versa, they both marked both strikers. I thought those guys, those four, Rice, Havertz, Gabriel, Saliba, those are probably my best 4 players. My man of the match right now, probably Declan Rice if I'm being fair, but at this moment in time, Kai Havertz for his goal. I don't care. But yeah, guys, that's the video. Let me know in the comments below who was your man of the match. What did you guys think about the game? Let me know all that in the comments below. Please be sure to smash the like button, subscribe if you guys haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one.